This video is the first in a new playlist on libraries. I'll be doing some show and tell at each library, and also over the course of the series sharing some information about items that I've consulted. Things such as correspondence, scrolls, books of magic, and secret inventions. The first stop is the British Library, so if you're interested, come on along. There are many ways into the front plaza of the British Library, but I always like to arrive through the impressive main entrance. I love the courtyard with its art installations, cafe, and its sheer grandeur. There's a massive sculpture by Edoardo Paolozzi, inspired by Sir Isaac Newton and William Blake. Across the way is a circular seating area surrounded by Antony Gormley's planets, boulders embraced by the humans carved on them. Near the doors of the library is the last word cafe. The spires you see over the top of the library are those of St. Pancras Station. The library is easy to get to by train or tube through St. Pancras or King's Cross, which is right next door. You might recognize this station from the Harry Potter movies. But let's turn back to the library and head up the front steps. Bags go through security. Be sure to notice the sculpted bench to the right. Then in front of you rises the amazing cavernous space of the British Library. Up the stairs and to the left is a treasure room containing such items as musical scores handwritten by John Lennon and by Mozart, Jane Austen's writing desk, diagrams drawn by Florence Nightingale as she researched military deaths during the Crimean War, childhood writings of the Bronte sisters, ancient scriptures from Ethiopia and Armenia, and much more. There's plenty to explore and enjoy here without even needing a reader's card. If you do wish to obtain a reader's card, it's easily done. From the entrance, head to the back of the library on the right, and you'll find helpful staff ready to assist you. You'll want two types of identification, including one showing proof of residence. I used my passport and a utility bill. I love the statement at the top of the reader's card: for research, inspiration, and enjoyment. Lockers are provided and are easy to use. They don't require a coin or a key, but rather just a 4-digit code of your choice. The locker room is large, so be sure to remember the color and number of your locker. I usually take a picture with my cell phone just in case. As you go from the locker room to the reading room, you'll pass by the display of the personal library of King George III that dominates the center of the library. I've taken so many photos trying to capture it, but none of them do it justice. It's really something you need to see. Heading now to the reading rooms. Whatever items you have with you will be in a clear plastic bag. You'll need to show your bag to a staff member working security as you enter. Then find an open seat, go up to the counter labeled for picking up items, and give the librarian your name and the number of the seat you've chosen. They'll give you the items you've reserved. Here, I'll share some of my favorite items that I've accessed. I'm a bit limited in the images I can show due to copyright and out of concern for the privacy of other readers, but I'll share covers and descriptions and shelf marks in case there's something here you'd like to access as well. The first item, small and fragile, is Comfort, or De Consolatione, by Girolamo Cardano. These are Cardano's reflections on mortality. His sentiments are so similar to what Hamlet expresses in his to be or not to be soliloquy that this book is considered to be both an inspiration to Shakespeare and likely the book that Hamlet is holding when Polonius asks him, "What do you read, my lord?" The volume beneath it is a work by Jacopo Silvestri that was owned by John Dee. It is thought to be the second book of cryptography ever printed, the date being 1526. Dee purchased it in Venice in 1563. Though I'm being careful not to get any other readers in my photos, this one at least gives a little bit of the sense of the study area. This next book is Claves Angelicae, or Angelic Keys, from 1584. It's a manuscript in Dee's own hand, and it contains instructions given to Dee by angels through Dee's scryer Edward Kelly. Let's take a quick break from reading to note the eating options. There are a couple of cafes and a restaurant available. I like to eat at the Terrace restaurant, especially on days when the weather is nice and I can take advantage of their outdoor seating. You can get hot sandwiches, coffee, tea, salad, fruit. Don't judge their food selections by what you see on my plate. I'm all about carbs and sweets. There are healthier choices available. I must say, though, that this piece of cake is one of the best I've ever had, and I wasn't expecting that. I'm hoping it's on the menu again next time I'm here. I imagine the space is more crowded during warmer weather, but I tend to travel off-season. It was kind of cold on this day, but I like the view. Once re-energized, it's back to the books for me. Here is the Book of Soyga, a book thought lost for hundreds of years. It's a 16th century treatise on magic. Copies were rediscovered here and in Oxford's Bodleian Library by Dee scholar Deborah Harkness in the 1990s. Note the name of this magical text. If we consider it backwards, we get agios, and substituting I for Y, we get the Greek word for holy. So Soyga is holy backwards. In this box is a genealogical roll, or scroll, hand-drawn in the late 16th century by Dee. It traces his ancestry, and that of Queen Elizabeth I, back to King Arthur and his father Uther Pendragon. It's just over 6 feet long and about 2 feet wide, and contains beautifully painted heraldic shields and a small self-portrait, the only image of Dee known to date back to his time. And this book is the Picatrix, a book of magic with a long and glorious history that in Elizabethan times belonged to Richard Napier, a first cousin of Scottish mathematician John Napier. For purposes of this video, we'll go ahead and make our way out. I have at least 5 videos planned for this series, 2 more in England, 1 in Scotland, and 1 in Italy. I hope to have another library virtual visit ready soon.